I had made a short about the fact that I was going to read Dungeon Crawler Carl, and in the comments I had a lot of people saying glurp glurp to me, and I was like, I don't know what that means. But now I know what glurp glurp is. This book is so many things. First of all, it's amazingly fun, and there's so many great pop culture references in it. One of the ones that just like in the beginning jumped out at me was that Princess Donut the cat cast magic missile at the darkness. Her and Carl come to this dark hallway and can't really see anything. Princess Donut, she casts magic missile at the darkness, and that's like an old D&D sketch. I thought that was awesome that was included, because I have to assume that's a nod to that. And then there's so many different like pop culture-y things coming from like the 80s, the 90s, early 2000s and such. And so I read this book. It was recommended to me by one of my friends. I hadn't planned on reading it. I didn't know if I was going to continue with the series, but I'm definitely going to continue with the series. It's great. So what happens is basically like the world ends and has been taken over by this Barant Corporation, which is like from another galaxy. And the only reason Carl and Princess Donut survive is because they were outside. Anyone that was inside like a building or shelter has ceased to exist. So the people that are not dead are offered the chance to go run into this dungeon. And if any of them are to get past level 18, they will resume the rights to the planet and will be able to take back their planet. And there's a whole bunch of rules and regulations and stuff about the rights and whatnot. And this is apparently a reality TV show that's being broadcast across galaxies. And it's quite popular. And each season is run by different corporations and whatnot. The premise seems somewhat ridiculous, but it works so well because this book reads like a video game or a D&D campaign. Speaking of video games, did you know that I stream on Twitch? Because I do. I'm live every Tuesday and Friday. So if you're around and on Twitch and want to follow the channel and hang out live, I'll put the link down below in the description. And it's so funny and quirky and ridiculous, and the characters are endearing. And if you like cats, well, there's a cat in it that's one of the main characters, and Princess Donut is fantastic. I love books with cats in them, so if you've been around the channel at all, you may know this. So yeah, you have Carl and Donut. Carl is 27, former Coast Guard. He's 6'3", 230 pounds. At least I think he's like somewhere around 230 pounds. I might be a little off on the poundage, but he's a big dude. And Princess Donut, the Queen Anne Chonk, is a tortoiseshell Persian. And she has been in, I don't know what you call it. It's like Best in Show or whatever, where they have the animal shows. And she's won all kinds of awards and whatnot. And when the world ends, Carl had chased Princess Donut outside. He ran outside and he was wearing his boxer shorts, a leather jacket, and like pink Crocs. When he goes outside, it's absolutely freezing outside. It's winter, it's cold. And then all of a sudden there's a voice in his head telling him about this dungeon. And apparently there's doors that popped up all over the world. People are going to go in there. And so he is holding Donut and decides to go in there because otherwise he might die of hypothermia or frostbite might take off his freaking fingers and toes and whatever, and he might die of overexposure. So he goes in the dungeon because there's warmth coming out of there. And thus starts our dungeon crawl. And as you get into it, you start to meet all the different characters. There's like these safe rooms, and then you have these guild areas where there is basically someone who can tell you the rules and explain the game to you more, this, that, and the other. And they can only tell you certain things if you've already encountered them and all of that. And then there's mobs like in a dungeon. And like the first thing going in is Carl and Donut run into this mob of goblins on this little like death machine that's coming at them down the hallway. And just, it's kind of chaotic right from the beginning. You dive into just the absolute madness that is the story. I flew through the pages. I already put the second book on hold at the library. If you like fantasy books, if you like D&D, if you are a casual reader and also enjoy video games, I would highly recommend this book. It's so funny and quirky and weird. All these mobs were creatures and people that were taken from these planets, and it seems like they've had their memories erased and they don't really remember. Not a lot of them have names. And at some point, Princess Donut decides she's going to name some of the different characters they encounter, like these two goblins that they meet. She names them Lorelei and Rory and stuff like that. So I say, like, with the pop culture references, there's a lot of stuff like that. It's an absolutely zany, wild, weird, funny, emotional, ridiculous, and fun adventure. What will happen in the future? And apparently too, No one's ever made it to level 18. The furthest supposedly anyone's ever gotten to is level 13. So the question in all our minds is, will Carl be able to make it there? Because even on the first starting levels, like, it seems that the bosses and the mobs are already super hard, but there's a whole system too that's kind of like social media, where if you get on these different shows, because there's shows within the show of this dungeon crawl, that if you get on there, people watch it, they like you, they can sponsor you. There's freaking, you get likes and this and that and the other. The people who sponsor you can send you these like loot boxes and whatnot. And so there's a whole bunch going on with it. Some of it's sad, and there's weird stuff, like there's a meth war going on with like between the llamas and the goblins and all kinds of weird and wacky stuff. So I am really glad I picked this up. I don't even know why I didn't think I was going to read this series. I had seen it all over the place, and maybe I had a different idea of what I thought it was going to be, but I am super glad I read it. So if any of that sounds good to you, definitely check it out. The first book is absolutely awesome, and we'll continue on this journey. And yeah, I'm thinking I'll read through the whole series. That'll be my one series for the year, because I have a hard time committing to multiple books in any kind of series. So maybe we'll do like one a month, and then I'll put that together in a playlist at the end. So if you have been reading or read Dungeon Crawler Carl, what are your thoughts? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What do you think about it? And if you enjoyed hanging out today, hit that subscribe button, come back, see me again, and we'll talk about more bookish things and weird stuff.